So I had somebody the other day ask me under one of my videos, how do you deal with people's perception of you? You don't. It quite literally is not your responsibility to redefine what somebody thinks about you or how somebody has characterized you into a box. Humans do this weird thing where in a way they're able to like stereotype you based off of one experience. And I always tell people that I never allow somebody's perception on me or just overall opinion on me to skew how I view myself personally, just because how are you going to tell me about myself when I'm an expert?
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sonia, and today I'm going to take you guys down a little rabbit hole of how I came to the conclusion that people's perceptions are actually none of my business. Now, what I mean by this, and at the baseline, I know that we want others to see us in a certain light. We want others to see us as intelligent or competent, pretty, and so we do certain things to get others to see us in that certain light. And I don't think anything is inherently wrong with that at all. If you look at me, if you look at my thumbnails, you see that I like to dress up. I like to do my makeup, hair in order to make videos. That's my thing. I like to do it because, one, I'm a girly girl, but also I do it because I want y'all to click on the thumbnail. I want y'all to click on the video and also see me as put together. As I said before, it's not inherently bad to want people to see you in a certain light. However, I feel like when it becomes really performative and it becomes, oh, I don't really care about this thing, but I'm going to do this thing so that they see me like this. At that point, are you going down a path where all you care about is the outside noise and how other people see you? It's like, it has nothing to do with how you see yourself. It has everything to do with getting that outside validation of, oh yeah, I'm doing the right thing. I'm doing the right thing. Like, if all of that was taken away and you were just left with yourself, how would you feel? When it gets to that point, it's like, okay, let's take a step back and really dig into why do I care so much about what other people think. Personal story, I used to get to the point, like, especially when I was really little, I used to get to the point where I became really self-critical. And when you become really self-critical, when you're just like, okay, if I do this thing, then they might say this, and so I'm not going to do this. When you become really anxious in that way, it's so self-destructive. And when you get to that point, it can cause like low self-esteem, low self-image, and I don't want that for you guys. So like, self-criticism is a mechanism to keep us safe and to keep us away from the judgment of others, but it's actually a double-edged sword because you think you're keeping yourself safe, but you're also hurting yourself in the process. You're just sitting here like, if I judge myself first, then the judgment of others won't affect me. But you're literally like digging a knife into your self-esteem. And that's not right either. Like, you don't deserve that either. I was doing a little bit of research into why we self-criticize, and I came across this article on recovery.com. I'm going to put it down below. An article called The Psychology of Self-Criticism, Why We Tear Ourselves Down and What to Do About It. And I am going to butcher the author's name, and so I'm just going to put it right here. I'm so sorry. I don't want to butcher the doctor's name. According to this article, we self-criticize to motivate ourselves to do better as well as to please others. And that's what I was doing. Most of it was coming from motivating myself to be the best that I can be. And so in the process, just beating myself down. And self-criticism can lead to fear of failure, anxiety, depression, shame, low self-esteem, avoidance in making meaningful connections with people, avoidance in even going out to social settings, as well as guilt, lots of guilt. And in the article, it says that the first step of navigating self-criticism is to actually acknowledge the negative thoughts that you're having and test them against the truth. Like, are these thoughts true about myself? So an exercise that I personally do, especially when I feel like I'm being really hard on myself, about a situation, I'll like look at myself in the mirror, disassociate a little bit, and I'll act like I'm literally just talking to a friend about the situation and giving them advice about the situation, because I tend to have a lot more empathy for other people than I do for myself, especially when I'm going through like a tough situation, and speak truth into my friend, but I'm really speaking truth into myself. And when I do that, I literally feel the anxiety like melting off. I don't think I came up with this or anything. Maybe I saw it on TikTok or something, but this whole exercise was literally inspired by me going on TikTok and seeing those little photo reels or whatever you call them, and it would be like a picture of you now, and then you scroll, it's a picture of like little you, and it's like, okay, remember, when you're talking to yourself, you're also talking to little you. And so I'm like, ooh, dang, some of the things that I say to myself, I would never ever, like if little Sonya was sitting in front of me, I would not be saying these things to her. And so, you gotta reel yourself back in a little bit. Moving past our view of our own selves, if you're self-critical, moving past that, from the outside looking in, if you have critical people around you, it can also be pretty hard to practice neutrality because you might have like an overbearing mom, or like really critical friends or family, or like teachers or acquaintances. It can be hard to try not to change their perception of you. Honestly, at the end of the day, a person won't change their perception of you if they don't want to change it. Like, if they don't want to see the good in you, then they're just not going to see it. They're going to actually look for every single flaw that you have in you, and you just got to be okay with that, like, at the end of the day. But I've been looking into like the psychology of critical people, because as y'all know, I do have a psychology degree, but I am not a psychologist. So when I was looking into the psychology of critical people, I came across a Harvard Business Review article called "Why Are People So Critical" by Dr. Stephen Berglass. And in that article, he highlighted this idea of, if you spot it, you got it. And basically meaning that if you spot something in someone else, then you also have that in yourself. And so if you spot beauty in someone else, you got that too. But it also works with negative things, like if you spot dishonesty in someone, then you also have dishonesty in you because you've lied about something before. Things like that. So to me, this is just a personal opinion, to me, critical people come in two flavors. Some are critical out of love, and some are critical because they are avoiding / projecting their problems onto you. So the person who is critical out of love is because they recognize some of the more toxic things that are going on, and they're like, okay, I've dealt with this before, let me call it out in this person and hopefully help them grow and just become better because I want to see them do good. This is the person that's gonna actually call it out, but also offer up some solutions. Like, they're actually gonna help you get through it if you want the help, because they want better for you. Now, the second person, the projecting person, the avoidant person, they are literally just projecting their problems onto you. You are a springboard for their internal battles. They're not offering up any sort of solutions for you. They are just constantly calling out a problem that they see. And these problems might not even be your problems. They are literally their problems that they're projecting onto you and that they are avoiding within themselves. And these people are more likely to be really self-righteous, really prideful, and they just want to criticize you in order to get their hit of dopamine. That's what they want. So having that discernment to decide between, okay, is this person coming at me from a place of love? Like, do they just want to see me do better? Or is this person coming from a place of avoidance where they're just projecting their issues onto me? Which one is it? Because at the end of the day, all of us are actually both of these people. All of us have brought criticism to a loved one because we're just like, hey, I know you and you can do better. But also, maybe sometimes in your head, you're just like, oh, this person's music sucks. Like, I have a superior music taste. And we don't do that, like, self-checking, like, okay, where is this criticism coming from? Like, what is happening? Why am I thinking like this? Because even I have to check myself, because sometimes I do commentary on this channel. So even I have to check myself in asking, like, where is the criticism coming from? If this person or followers of this person that see themselves in this person, if they were to see my video and hear my critiques, would they just feel like I'm beating them down, or would they actually get something out of this video? I gotta check myself. But yeah, all of us are both of these people from time to time. But if you're doing more of the latter, which we see on social media a lot, Instagram comment sections are like the downfall of humanity. It's a lot of criticizing to get that dopamine hit. It's a lot of just, oh yeah, I just want to think I'm better than the next person. I want to think I'm smarter than the next person. Next thing you know, you're in that cycle of criticizing other people just to get a dopamine hit that's going to wear off literally seconds after. In Nick Wignall's article, The Real Reason We're So Critical of Others, he actually calls that type of criticism emotional fast food, because at the end of the day, you're projecting your problems onto somebody else. You're getting that dopamine hit that lasts 0.5 seconds, and you're not actually healing what's going on inside of you. When you eat fast food, it's not meant to be satiating. It's not meant to give you any nutritional value. You're just meant to eat it, feel good for a second, and then you're hungry later. Emotional fast food. Next time you are being criticized by just family members or friends, acquaintances, co-workers, bosses, ask yourself where you think that the criticism is coming from. And also, does it matter to you? Does it matter the perception that this person has of you? Most of the time, for me, the answer is no. Especially because I post content online, I had to teach myself to stay neutral to the opinions of others. When you think about it, when someone says something that actually hurts you, it's because you do see a little bit of truth in that thing that they said to hurt you. However, if someone says something that you know there's absolutely no truth in, they say that to you, it's just kind of like, what did you think that was going to do? If I sit here and I'm just like, I think I'm smart. If someone comes up to me and they're like, oh, I think you're smart, thank you. If someone else comes up to me and they're like, oh, I think you're dumber than a rock, that's not going to sway me to think, oh, XYZ123 commented that they think that I'm dumber than a rock. I need to go and do something. Like, no. I know I'm smart. I know what I've accomplished in my life. I know my credentials. And so what either side says won't really sway me, because I know who I am. It's so important to have like that baseline of, I am this and I am this, and I'm beautiful and I'm intelligent and I'm competent and I'm good at this. And yeah, it's good to have that baseline of knowing yourself, knowing your character, knowing what you would do, what you wouldn't do, and not letting people come up to you and plant lies into you. Knowing that you are those things will never allow people to take away value from you or add value to you, because you know that you are these things. I don't know. I feel like it's so important to just practice that neutrality, whether you're doing content creation or whether you are literally just going through life. Like, just knowing who you are, what you are, that's the key. I think that's all I have for you guys today. I hope you have a beautiful day, a beautiful night, whenever you're watching this. Okay, bye.